Welcome to the Panty Nectar podcast. Have quite a few interesting topics I'm going to be covering today. Good stuff I'm excited about. But first, before we get into that juicy stuff, I would love to introduce my lovely co-host in this lovely king-size bed, Mr. P. Welcome.
In the king-size bed. Thank you so much for having me. I appreciate it. So great to be here with you and all of your fans. Thank you guys for tuning in.
Yes, welcome.
What's on your mind tonight, baby?
So I have a couple of interesting things I want to go over, and I know that I did not tell you beforehand what we are going to be discussing.
No, it's a big secret.
Yeah, I wanted to catch you off guard a little bit, for what it's worth. So
yeah, let's do
I'm
it.
like, oh. So I guess one of the very first things, we'll just ease into it with an easy question. I guess I want to kind of discuss what it's like navigating a relationship, let alone a marriage, while, your partner runs a not safe for work account.
Ooh, that's a great, I've actually
pros, cons, there's a lot. I feel like there's a lot to it, and I feel like
it's a huge topic.
What better person to ask than my partner? So
I've never really first of all, that's a great question, and honestly, I have never spent a lot of time thinking about that specific question.
Mm-hmm.
But when you first started Panty Nectar, you brought the idea to me, and I was definitely supportive of it. I didn't have any inhibitions of you posting online and doing your thing there. And as it got going, initially there's all sorts of you don't know what you don't know.
Mm-hmm.
And of course there's insecurities I had, like, when I started being in your pictures or videos or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
It's I had to overcome my own insecurities there, but that's besides the point of being a partner of you, who you have literally hundreds of thousands of fans and millions of viewers. Mm-hmm. and listeners, and it's crazy to say that, but that's the God's honest truth. And so it's definitely it's
nerve-wracking a little bit.
No, I don't think it's nerve-wracking at all. I think that it is empowering in a way.
Mm-hmm.
I think like it's empowering for you, because that everybody wants to be desired. That's innate human nature.
Absolutely.
And of course we've discussed that between you and I about how you love doing Panty Nectar and the empowerment that it gives you. It also does the same thing for me as a partner, because I'm with you and I'm like, man, there's literally millions and millions of people out there that have this incredible lust for you.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, I'm the one that gets to fuck you every night.
Right. And I really like that you have that point of view, because I think a lot of people, like even friends, like friends that I've had in the past, like they have been disappointed that they're not sleeping with me, but they're like my best friend and I do everything with them. And I'm always like, dude, you're the person I do everything with. Like, why can't you be like, man, at least I'm getting to do all this shit with her like no one else is, you know what I mean? So I like that you
well, guys in the friend zone, they don't always act rationally.
Yes, I know, but you know what I mean, like you have this 100%. Outlook like, at least I'm the person that fucking gets to be with her every night. I think another big like important staple to have while doing this kind of stuff as well in a if you are in a relationship, I guess is a better way of putting it, is definitely communication. 100%.
Huge.
Because I know when I first like started doing this, There were, things that I was comfortable with, things I wasn't comfortable with.
Right.
And, those boundaries were laid out. And so I think like us just being really open about our communication and about like, what we're okay with, what we're not okay with, expectations maybe, or maybe, I don't know, just sometimes even not so comfortable conversations to have. But I feel like that is a staple in having a healthy relationship while doing something like this.
Yeah, sure. And I think the expectations are really what get people in trouble, because you may expect your partner, just feels one way and they don't. They may feel the exact opposite, and you need to be able to sit down and talk about things. And where you and I are today in our relationship, like, with what you do, and my Mr. P Nectar, it's like, it's day to day. It's simple. There's rarely anymore do we have to like have a conversation about something that we haven't had a conversation about yet. But that it was not that way in the beginning. It seemed like every few days there was it was things we were having to work through.
Right.
And I think that if people are thinking about, getting into the not safe for work online space, whether it's just posting on Reddit or Twitter or OnlyFans or whatever it is that you want to do, I think that it is absolutely crucial that you do communicate with your partner, because, if you're hiding anything from your partner, like anything, it's destined to fail. So first and foremost is be open. And in order to be open, you have to be honest and self-aware with who you are. And then, your partner needs to do the same, and together, you can build a very healthy relationship and have a whole lot of fun doing this.
Right. I think it's definitely like a give and take type thing, because I think there's some things that like I'm even into that you're kind of not, and you kind of work with me on that, and then vice versa, like you're into that I'm not, and like I kind of work with you on that. You know what I mean? So that's also not shutting the door right away on some things that your partner wants and maybe just wants to talk about or whatever. But I think communication, being open and able to receive what your partner is saying makes a big difference. So next thing I would like to talk about.
Drum roll, please.
So I think that this is an interesting topic that I kind of want to get more into, because I don't really know a whole lot about it other than like, kind of what I've seen from Reddit and whatnot. And then we can kind of discuss both of our point of views on it, because I know you have a different point of view than I do. So we are going to talk about, I think I'm saying this right, cuckolding.
Yes.
Okay, so we're going to talk about.
That's how you say it, cuckolding.
Yeah, I'm like, I think so. So I want to talk about that. What does it mean specifically? And then your point of view on it. I'm going to give my point of view on it, and then we'll just talk about it.
Cuckolding. That's I did not see this topic coming either. So
you like this?
I do like it. Yeah, it definitely catches me off guard. So
what does it mean?
For those who do not know, I think a very broad general definition that most people would agree with is that cuckolding is, and I have to be careful here because like in the whole sex world, there's a technical definition for everything, right? And for someone who's into this, but not this, but generally it's where there's it's a at least as I'm aware, a male and female couple, guy, girl, and the woman is allowed to pursue other men, and not only that her partner, the man, is in a sense submissive to her desires to be in with other men. Does that make sense? So then it makes her, what is this term, a hot wife, and she seeks out quote unquote bulls. And from there, that makes her husband a cuckold, right? I mean, like,
Okay.
I have like this whole like triangulation thing.
No, that was
good.
Okay, so what's a cuck queen then?
So let's see. Now, this whole like cuck queen thing is relatively a new idea to me. Really, since you started panty nectar,
right?
But if I understand it correctly, and please
just correct, shoot me a message on OnlyFans. If maybe we're stating something wrong, you can correct us and we'll mention it on the next podcast.
So a cuck queen is, it's like, let's say that we were in that dynamic relationship. Okay. You would be my cuck queen, and then the cuck cake would be the female that we brought into the relationship, or not necessarily bring into a relationship, and that I would fuck. I don't know.
We're going to look it up because I know Urban Dictionary will have it.
Urban Dictionary has everything. Yeah. I mean, like, one of the subreddits, Cuck Queen, I think it's called. Do you have the...
Yeah, I have the definition. Okay. Do you mind if I interrupt you?
Urban Dictionary definition.
Okay. Cuck Queen. A girl who likes watching her boyfriend or husband have sex with other girls. They get enjoyment from watching their significant other fuck the other girl silly, and may give demands, be forced to watch in a specific location or join in.
Right. So that makes it sound like that either the female is an active participant sexually, or maybe just as an observer in a submissive sense.
Yeah, it says usually involves elements of humiliation and masochism.
I want you to fucking be there licking pussy too.
I know. I'm like, I don't see. I think that's where I'm into the whole like having someone submissive other than you there. So like me being, if we're on a pyramid, like you, me, and then someone else.
Yeah.
And I don't dig the whole like she comes in, you guys, they humiliate me. I don't find that fun and attractive. But I think if we were to bring someone else in and use them, that would be fun.
Yes, I think that'd be the best dynamic for us, because for us it's like, there's not a submissive bone in my body.
No.
There's just, and that's not a machismo thing,
Yeah,
like, I'm a guy, I cry, right? I'm a guy, I cry. That's not a machismo. I'm just not.
I've tried.
I'm saying that like I'm not submissive sexually at all.
Yeah.
And you're submissive. You're very submissive
to you. I'm not.
To me,
yeah, I'm not dominant at all.
But very submissive. But outside of our relationship, I think you have a pretty strong dominant streak, and I'm very curious to see you for the first time with a girl. So
I always see, I think their name is like Dream Couple, Your Dream Couple or something on Reddit.
Yes.
And I always see her like
hot couple.
Yeah, she's always like shoving some girl's head down on his dick, and I'm always like, oh, I can't wait. That's gonna be so much fun.
No shit. So yeah, if you want to do that, just send Panty Nectar a message, and I'm sure she'll get all that wind up.
Yeah, I think the thought of that turns me on a lot. I think that dynamic would be fun.
Yeah, I just think that there's so much more excitement and less possibilities adding another female.
Yeah, well, we had a male, but I honestly think it'd be a lot more fun with a female. I hate to break that to you guys.
That was the first thing you said.
Yeah.
Right after you like, let's find a girl.
When we were showering, I was like, I think that was fun, but I think that'd be a lot more fun with a girl.
Yeah. And of course, I was fully on board.
Yeah, you're like, oh yeah, that sounds great, babe.
But I mean, but we still haven't. We still have not done.
It hasn't lined up. And we're not forcing anything. It just hasn't lined up.
We don't.
But I can't.
We have enough on our plate as it is with just you and I, and it's like, I'm just fine with that. So
yeah, no, for sure, we have a lot of fun. All right, 100%. So we covered cuckolding, cuckqueaning, cupcakes, yes. All the good stuff.
And see, then there's like a whole, but see, I don't want to confuse cuckolding with like a stag and vixen lifestyle too.
Right.
Are you familiar with that?
Right. Vaguely.
So it's so like a stag is, is just a dude who is able to have sex with other women, and then a vixen is a female who is able to have sex with other men, or I guess whatever their sexual preference is. But nonetheless, the two together are a couple, right? Mm-hmm. So like if we were a stag vixen couple, if we put ourselves in that classification, which, you and I, we don't put ourselves in any classification. We just live our lives. But if we were to do that, then it would essentially be okay for me to have a hall pass, and it would essentially be okay for you to have a hall pass.
Right.
Yet it wouldn't be, there's no humiliation dynamic there.
Right.
And as far as I understand it, it's, people kind of go off and do their own thing as well.
I think the thing is, like, I like to have like real rough sex when I'm drunk, No, hear me out. So everyone loves that like sloppy, real rough sex when they're drunk. And I think that dynamic would work good, like having a dominant guy, aka you, and another, like, not, dominant's a weird word to use because I think that's overused, but
yeah, for sure.
But having another male presence like that in the dynamic would be good for a situation where I'm like wanting, drunk, sloppy, like just rough, fucking fucked all the way around kind of sex. But I think like regular sex would definitely work better with either like a submissive male or a submissive female. I think that's why that would work better sober. Does that make sense?
Yes, it does. I haven't had sloppy drunk sex in like, quit drinking really.
Yeah, we haven't drank in months.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe we should just start getting hammered again so we could have sloppy drunk sex.
Like, no. We have great rough sex.
Yes, we do. But I'm telling you, like there is something different. Special about drunk sex.
About like you can't really even fucking see each other because you're fucking dizzy and shit. Yeah.
And you wake up the next morning and fuck again, and then you try to remember from the next. You're like, man, we might be having a baby or some shit. I don't know. Can't really remember, but I know it was good.
That's exactly. Yeah. Okay, so covered all the bases. Do you have anything else you kind of want to talk about?
No, I just want to thank you so much for once again having me on your amazing Penny Nectar podcast, and I know you love doing this, and it's a lot of fun. I really love doing this podcast with you. It's just it's cool and then to hear your fans write into you and give feedback and stuff. It's just cool.
Yes, it means so much to me.
Absolutely. So thank you so much for having me on Penny Nectar.
You're very welcome. Thank you so much for all the listeners. And I cannot wait to chit chat with you guys next time.
Are you going to give me a blowjob one time on this podcast? I keep on asking
all day today. You just had to get that in, didn't you?
Well,
all day mind. Today. Next podcast, I think maybe we'll give some blowjob tips and tutorials.
I don't want blowjob tips. I want a blowjob.
Oh my gosh. Okay, next time.
We keep going round and round on this, but I figured we could come to an agreement somewhere on blowjob.
All right, Peony Nectar fans, write in. Do you think that I should give a blowjob to Mr. P?
You should make that a poll on Panty Nectar and see what your fans think.
That's a great idea.
I think that if your fans are good fans, that they will say yes, I should get a blowjob on the next podcast. But you never know. I mean, there might be a bad fan or two out there. But no, just kidding. Thank you so much for having me.
All right, check it out on OnlyFans. See ya.
See ya.